If you've been following along on the channel, you already know that I'm getting ready to put this LS into that LJ. But before I do, I want to have the perfect rock crawler transmission. So what that means for me is taking this Turbo 400 and adding a reverse manual valve body from TCI. Now what this is going to give me is full control over all of my shifts while giving engine braking in first and second gear and free coasting in third for the highway. Best of both worlds. This is not an easy, simple DIY, let's be honest. And for that reason, a lot of you guys are really scared about tackling this on your own. And if you choose to go with a transmission shop to do your upgrade, that more than doubles the cost of doing this job. I'm going to walk you through what I did to make this job work. I'm using no special tools, and I'm not a transmission specialist. So if I can do it, then you can easily do it. Follow along, and I'm going to show you that you can do this job in your own garage. Removing the pump first, the front drum. There we go. Direct drum. Now the kit that I got does have engine braking, so I'm keeping this front band. If you remove the front band, cool thing, it takes away engine braking. Take the retaining spring out. There we go. We will set that stack over here. Now this is the center support. We're going to unbolt it. You do have to unbolt your center support, and that bolt is right underneath where your valve body was, so that's why you have to take that off before you start digging into the guts of this thing. Our instructions mention that we need to remove and discard the second sealing ring from the top of the center support. Now, what they're talking about when they're talking about the sealing rings on the center support, that's these rings right here. They're very brittle, very small, and there's one on each stage, and they keep fluid inside these channels. This is the number 2 sealing ring that they want removed. We're not going to use that anymore. So we're going to try to get that to disconnect. There we go. And then we're just going to work that out of there. Good, good, great. Let's go. All right, so now we get to work with the direct drum doing our mod there. So we are going to take this snap ring out, and then we will take our clutches out of the direct drum, and we'll get to work on those. So when you get to your direct drum, you do have one thing that you need to think about, and that is how the crap you are going to compress all 16 of these springs to get this little snap ring off of the direct drum. The answer to that is you're going to improvise or go spend money on a tool. And I am going to improvise. I think I can make that work. Now that we got this cut, just remember how important your eyesight is on a job like this. So, oh, how stupid. Grind away from you. Woo, hot, hot. Okay. Woohoo! And my lip seal is actually already gone because, like I said, they did actually modify this thing with a manual valve body. It just wasn't a reverse manual, so they took that off already, so I'm actually good to go. Now, the tricky thing right here is that you've actually got these lip seals, and these lip seals can really hang up going back in. You can see how they flare out. So you've actually got to work those back in and try to work them around. Well, it is day 2 of doing this because I didn't get quite as far as I hoped yesterday, because my lip seal going in back into that drum just was not going as smoothly as I really wanted it to, and I didn't want to mess that up and have to order another one. So I started looking for a better solution to get that lip seal to tuck in smoothly, and I have something to show you. We're going to use some thin wall plastic, and we're going to use something circular to make a nice template here. We're going to cut it out. We're going to use what we cut out to smoothly run that lip seal into the drum without tearing it up. So I'm going to give that a shot, see how this goes. If it works for me, then you'll know. All right. It actually worked. It beat the absolute crap out of it in the process. So maybe a little thicker probably would have helped make it last a little longer in that job. But the lip seal is tucked in now and she works. So happy ending on that one. Now I got to put the springs in. Oh yeah, actually worked. Oh yeah, look at that. She worked perfect. Not bad for a free tool. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in this new spring that they sent in a package and replace the one that was in this pump. I have no idea if I'm actually supposed to, because the instructions amazingly say nothing at all about putting a new spring in the pump. But historically, if you swap out valve bodies to an upgrade like this, it comes with a pump spring. And it came with this spring, but says nothing about using it. So I am just going to make a random guess, throw it in here, and we're going to see what happens with it. Whoa! Put it on the right way. Oh my. Does that seem off to you? Hello? Okay, I think I figured this out. So the tube I thought was fully seated, and then you just give these little arms just a nice little tap on each side, and boom, she dropped in a good 1/4 inch farther down. So maybe that's all I need to get this thing seated. Let's try that pan one more time. So that is it for this video. I now have a Turbo 400 with a short tail shaft and an adapter for the NP231 to mount up to the Jeep transfer case, and a reverse manual valve body that is ready for the winter's rock gate shifter. And if you want to see how all of this goes together, then come back and watch the next video, because I'm going to start working on getting it all inside this Jeep, and I'm going to be making a custom center console to make it happen. So if you're interested in that, come back. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.